Hello guys and gals, and this is another Vlog Friday. It occurs to me that Easter is coming up, and holidays can be difficult for people who have lost loved ones in the past. And that's basically everyone, probably, because, everyone dies eventually. And it can really be tough to cope with that, especially if it was someone that you were really close to. So I want to talk a little bit about loss and coping with loss, because it's something that everyone experiences and everyone copes a different way. There are some people that don't grieve at all, and that's kind of that's one way to do it, I guess. But that's also kind of well, people aren't meant to hold on to their grief. At least I don't believe so, anyways. And yeah, so it's good to get that grief out. It can be easy to not notice when someone is not really coping with grief very well. And because the signs, everyone has different signs when it comes to that. Coping in general can be difficult. And there are several factors that affect this to a greater degree. And I'll be going over those later, of course. We always go over those with the 7 points that we always discuss. And just hold just a sec. I should say which vlog this is, because I don't even know. Let me get my YouTube folder out. It says here vlog Friday 26. So we are to number 26. Looks like this is the only video left on my docket to take care of this week. So, loss. Even the most stoic can experience loss. Everyone does. You can basically try to immunize yourself against, those feelings, but it doesn't really work all the time. What I'm trying to say is that what you're feeling is natural when you lose someone close to you. And sometimes holidays can really bring that to light, because especially if you lost a loved one around a certain holiday. For me, it's Christmas, because I lost my grandmother around Christmas. And that's just not easy to deal with. But I find that it does steadily get better every year as time goes by. They say that time heals all wounds, and to a certain extent that's true. We're going to talk more about this, if I think about it or remember, near the end of this video. We're going to start here with number 1. And, of course, times are steadily getting back to normal. Things are steadily getting better. But it's still easy to fall into depression and to think about, about the negative things in society. And to worry about those things. And one thing that you can do to basically cope with the symptoms, anyways, of depression, not really the core issue, but the symptoms, is to do something you enjoy at least once a day. And I always have to put in, make sure it's something legal. I'm not condoning illegal activity. If you want to do illegal activity, I suppose you could play GTA 5 or something. I've never actually played a Grand Theft Auto game. I never really understood them. But I do like Big Smoke's order in GTA 5, I believe it is, or San Andreas. It's the one, I'll take a number 9, and all that. That's basically become a meme. But, anyways, one thing that isn't a meme is a person's feelings. And maybe you enjoy playing video games, and maybe you enjoy playing GTA 5, maybe. Or you enjoy, if it's within your dietary wheelhouse, maybe eating a donut or something. Speaking of which, Clyde's does sell Rogers Bakery donuts now. I wasn't aware of that until maybe a few days ago. Speaking of donuts. But, anyways. Unless you live in Astoria or nearby, then you won't even know what Clyde's Fast Stop even is. Anyways, and for your information, it is a gas station, a service station, that kind of thing. A petrol station for the overseas people. A servo for the Aussie members of the audience. Basically, with Australia, they basically take a word, they shorten it, and put an O after it. So a liquor store would be a bottle-o. An afternoon would be arvo. But anyways, enough of that. And maybe you like studying other cultures and stuff like that. That's cool too. But yeah, if it's within your dietary wheelhouse to eat a donut or something sweet that won't, throw your blood sugar out of whack or something, then it's just do something that would make yourself feel good. There's always someone who cares, and I always have to bring this point up, especially since there's so many social platforms out there. Is that what they're called? Social platforms? Like Facebook. I would say MySpace, but I think MySpace is probably basically dead by now. I know I used to actually have a MySpace page, but I usually, kind of like Facebook, I used to just use it for the games, because there used to be all these fun games on MySpace. There's also like YouTube. I consider that a social platform. And I'm completely blanking on everything else. There are also social chat programs like Telegram, Line, Skype, Messenger, like MSN Messenger, all that stuff. And you can have lots of friends on those, but you can still feel like nobody cares. I mean, we live in a society where there is very little compassion sometimes, and people are basically just stuck in their own little world. In Second Life, which is basically a video game type setting, a virtual video game setting, you could basically create your own little world, which was kind of cool. And I was part of Second Life for a very long time. I should probably get back into that maybe, but I don't know. Anyways, but it's easy to believe or falsely believe that no one cares, and that simply isn't true. Sometimes just knowing that somebody cares can be the difference, can really make a big difference, rather. Okay, now number 3 is important as well. If you are suffering from an affliction, there is no shame in seeking help. That can be for a physical ailment, like a cold that doesn't go away after like a couple months, I suppose, or even something, or a mental condition like paranoid schizophrenia or bipolar. Those basically you actually have to take medication in order to cope. And there's no shame in that. I mean, there used to be a stigma attached to mental illness, but I think that that's basically going away. I'm hoping, anyways. A lot like these labels that everyone uses. We'll get to that later. But anyways, if you are suffering from an affliction, there's no shame in seeking help, and that means taking medicine if it will help you. Now, I do realize there are people who can basically cope with their depression with medication, which is awesome. I mean, I'm really glad they can, but there are also lots of people who can't. And there is no shame in seeking medication, legal medication, to cope with that. Because you need to feel good. Number 4 is no matter how bad things get, there's always hope. That's always something to take into account. It's similar to the one, there's always someone who cares. Um, Hope is important to have, especially when things seem hopeless. And again, society, life, and all that. I don't know why my phone is dinging. I'll unplug it. I don't know. It's being weird. Um, well, with what people will say is that life isn't fair, and that's basically true. No one actually expects life to be fair. And life can put us into some really unreasonable, seemingly unreasonable situations. And it can be easy to let go of hope, and you don't want to do that. Um, no matter how bad things get, you should always hold on to your hope because there's always hope, and it can sometimes seem impossible, but very, very, very few. If well, how do I want to say that? Okay. Um, there is always hope, and it's important to realize that even in seemingly hopeless situations, um, there there always there's always hope. Ah, number 5 is social. Oh no, societal. I thought that said social. It says societal. Labels and tags are pointless. People are people, and that's another thing I want to get across. It's my worldview is that people are people. Everyone is important. It doesn't matter what their profession is, whether they make millions of dollars or if they are unemployed. Everyone is important, and everyone has a place in society, and everyone is important. Which I've said several times, but I'm just trying to get that point across. It doesn't matter what color their skin is, their religion, whatever their religion is, what they believe. People are people. I mean, deep down, deep in the souls, people are people. It doesn't matter anything superficial or anything like that. Doesn't matter how much money they make or what they believe or anything like that. But yeah, the world would be a better place, a lot better place. There'd be a lot less civil unrest if more people were, saw people as people. Um, Number 6 is be yourself. There'll never be another you, and that's really important too because everyone is born completely unique. Even in the case of identical twins, I believe there are some differences there. Maybe personality-wise, I'm not really sure, but maybe, yeah, I'm sure there are probably differences, even though very, very discrete differences. Um, and everyone has unique tastes, unique viewpoints, unique worldviews, and all that's very important. I mean, if you try and forfeit that for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe you forfeit some of your personality to mimic somebody else to be popular, um, then the world misses out on that. Because you really need to be yourself. I always encourage people to start a YouTube channel because that's something that anyone can do, and everyone can then express their views however they like, provided it is within YouTube's terms of service and stuff like that. There is a code of conduct, of course, that has to be followed, and but otherwise, you should be yourself, and people will still really respect you and probably like you even better if you are yourself. The people who are really popular on YouTube, they are themselves, and they are very popular because they are true to who they are. So you should always be true to who you are. And number 7 is always think positive thoughts, which also bit of a placebo effect there, but it actually works to have positive thinking. And I don't mean the sarcastic, oh, I'm certain it's going to be a terrible day. No. The sarcasm really doesn't help anybody, to be honest, except maybe in a comedy or something, or somebody who's writing a funny script or something like that. But anyways, you should always think positive thoughts. And that can't be easy all the time. I mean, maybe you're in a bad situation and it's hard to have hope, then you're definitely going to have trouble having positive thoughts. But positive thinking can sometimes really make a difference. The only thing that I can tell you is to try it. Anyways, also, if you are having trouble coping over the holidays because of loss, or for any reason really, then you should talk to somebody, because it's not good to keep those feelings in. And so yeah, that is my recommendation. Again, all these things that I said in this vlog are opinions, of course, and you can either take my opinions or leave them. Either way is fine. I hope that at least one person has found this video helpful. And if so, then I have done my job. I basically make videos not for the fame or the money, but for basically just to make a difference. It's one of the things that I can do in my free time to maybe make a small, insignificant difference in the world. And so yeah, I hope that at least one person found this video useful. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, or I was going to say, I forgot I wasn't doing a product review. My outro is slightly different for product reviews and for all my other content. So, anyways, I had to stop that thought there. Otherwise, I probably would have ended up with a whole mailbox full of self-help books. Anyways, with that being said, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.